All right, let's see here. Hi, Poho. I'll start in about 10 minutes. I need to eat something first. Yes, I upload everything to YouTube. I don't know how to save the videos in Twitch. I can't figure it out. It's just, I don't think it's a very user-friendly platform, to be honest. It's just, some things are very illogical. Like, I don't know how to put my videos to save them, the streams. I have to read the manual or something. But yeah, if you want to see the previous streams, you just go to YouTube, to my YouTube channel. Everything is there. Everything is there. Okay, so let's go through what happened yesterday. So my main positions were long UVXY and short Tesla. I got stopped out of both of them. UVXY, I was up about 50,000 at the top, and I ended up making about 1,500 or so. So that's unfortunate. I didn't lock in enough. And Tesla, let's see, here's the P&L. So drip, let's start with drip. So it did what I thought it would do. I was just short too early. I shorted it somewhere here, and then I got stopped out. Then it had another push, and then it faded the rest of the day. Oh, I'm sorry. I got short here. This is yesterday. Then I got stopped out. It pushed a little bit more, and then it just faded the rest of the day. UXY, again, I stopped out. Break even on the rest. So a total of 1152 after being up 50k on it. And Tesla, I accidentally traded in both accounts because I took 2 losses on it. First one was near the open. I anticipated the opening range breakdown, which didn't happen at first, so I had to get stopped out. And then the second trade I nailed. It just spent the rest of the day going higher after the first flush. But this would have been a great trade for an intraday trader. When you get news like that, this gap down, so news, just short them on the intraday breakdown, and you know, for an intraday trader that would have been a nice trade. It just closed too strong. I'm not gonna short something that closed this strong. And fuel cell, I took a small loss. There was huge volume coming in on news that they stopped their ATM, but didn't have any follow through. So let's look at some of the big gainers yesterday. Like meat, I don't know why it was up. I have to check it later during the day. Maybe it was earnings or something. I don't know. Big volume on an otherwise not very liquid stock. It's a small cap. Actually, it was a micro cap until yesterday. ENDP had a little bottom breakout. Like there's a lot of room in this thing if you look at the weekly chart. I actually have it on the watch list. I'm thinking about buying some if it breaks today's highs. Yeah, yesterday's highs. Okta, I had it on my watch list. Had a big move. If you remember yesterday, I actually removed it from my watch list at one point when it reversed red, and then it just had a big reversal because the market's reversed, and this thing had just so much power. Found support on the 200-day, it undercut it, built a little bit of range, and as soon as the market pressure got lifted, this thing exploded. Mallinckrodt, I bought 90,000 shares. I got stopped out of the first trade. If you look here, yeah. So 90,000 shares. I'm still holding them. This thing has a lot of room to go potentially. Another software stock found support on a rising moving average after a 2-month correction. This coup is strong. This thing barely corrected. Roku, this one I'm long too. I bought 4,000 at 106.71. So now it's a bit higher. These are just some shorts I think are decent that had some reversals or breakout kind of moves. Another one strong over the past few years, had a strong move yesterday. Yeah, JCPenney, I bought some tiny shares, $50,000 position, $47,000 position. Probably shouldn't even do these small things. I mean, this thing needs to double for me to make any meaningful money. I don't think if it can double. I don't know. Maybe it can. Actually, it did double a month ago, so maybe we can do it again. Shopify, another one, strong. Found support on a rising moving average. Oil things, oil-related things had big reversals yesterday. Drip and DWT on the downside, and Drip I already went through. And these see, ERX, OYH, Gush on the long side. And for those who don't know, I keep track of every like major moves in different stocks, and then I go back a few weeks later or a month later and see how they did. It's just all about building a pattern database. Now Yin, I own some, and it actually was far below my stop. Not here in pre-market. Now it's reversing up again, but it was far below my stop. Some China names, another energy ETF, TQQ triple, I think it's triple QQQ ETF or something. Another China name, China names like JD and Baosun found support on this 200-day moving average. They're not breaking below that, so that's a sign to look. That's a sign to have in mind for now. The EMPH I got stopped out a couple of days ago. Now it looks like it's reversing, maybe reverse higher. Another China name, very strong China name. Yeah, so these ones we already covered. Anywho, today's a new day. ENDP, I may buy some if it breaks yesterday's highs. This IPHI needs to tighten up. Had some very big shop the past 10 sessions or so, up, down, up, down. So if it breaks out, I'm not going to buy it today. It needs to tighten up. This is another beaten down name. A lot of them do look good. They're flagging off the lows. They made big moves off the lows and now they're flagging. So this is another one. This is some oil stock. It trades kind of clean, so I like it, but you can also do like Gush or ERX, or they're all the same pretty much. But there's no setup here right now. I'm not even gonna track it. I don't know why I put it on the watch list. This thing I think needs to go sideways a bit more. This one found support on the rising 50-day. This is some Argentina name, China name that's holding up really well, flagging, and another Argentina name. So Mallinckrodt, it's about where it closed yesterday. Roku is gapping up a little bit. JCPenney is gapping up a cent, so that's nothing. And this YINN. So what I'm gonna do with this one, I'm gonna sell half if it loses 1675 after the open, and sell the other half 1666. So I'm just gonna put hard stops in there. Okay, so now I have stops in place. Okay, so 2 minutes till open. Yeah, the software ETF had a big reversal, so undercut the 200-day and had a big reversal. But right now this is pretty much a, I don't know if it's a dead cat bounce or in the indices, or if it's some kind of a shorter term bottom. So I'm not really gonna do that much more long exposure right now, unless it's beaten down names, like these kinds of names, RGY, NDP, and these Argentina names that are not necessarily correlated to the US markets. But yeah, I'm not super excited, but it just had to be there for some Roku, and you know, there was Okta obviously, and Ku, and a few others that looked really good. So I just picked Roku because it's treated me well this year. Oh, I forgot to look at today's gappers, but now the market is opening, so we'll see. They'll turn up in my scans. Okay, so I already got stopped out of half of the yin. This is what it is. It looked good yesterday. But unfortunately China is gapping down, but the US is gapping up. Just put an alert on the CNDP. And now it's all a waiting game. At least for the time frames I trade. All a waiting game. Whoa, what's going on here? Oh, okay. So there's a lot of stocks in my watch list that are gapping up over yesterday's close. That's why I have so many names in this watch list, or in this scan. But again, a lot of these stocks, they're just running, except this one, but they're just running up into these declining moving averages. So I don't know how sustainable this rally is. In the short term. I'm afraid this may fail. Okay, so these, I'll close this window. So Roku failed on the 60-minute chart. It failed at this declining moving average, this exponential 65 period moving average. I think these moving averages work really well on the 60-minute chart for these trending stocks, and right now it failed. Right at it. Okay, now the first alerts start coming in 3 minutes late as usual. Actually 3 minutes is pretty good for TC2000. They're usually like 10 minutes too late, the ones that trigger near the open. Why is this thing up? Okay, there's some partnership. I don't know if this is significant news or not, but the chart looks really good. One of the strongest stocks in the market right now. That's been going up for many years. But again, I don't know how significant this is. Just going through some scans really quick. Like everything the market indices related is gapping up into resistance. Yeah, David, I'll answer your question in 5-10 minutes. I'll let the market settle a bit, and then I'll answer your question. Let's see if we can get some shorts. Nothing here. Wow, this stamps.com has made a big move from its lows. Over 100%, 130%. Wow, look at that. All right. So most of my positions, they just kind of break even for now. Yeah, now I get some late alerts coming in. Things that triggered 7 minutes ago. Okay, since things are pretty slow, I'll answer your question, David. How long have you been swing trading and how much did you start with? Thank you. Well, I have been trading for 8 years, but swing trading, I started swing trading about 3 or 4 years after I started trading. So about maybe 4 or 5 years that I've been swing trading. And I started with, again, first time I started in 2011, started day trading, I had like, I think like 5,000, which I lost most of. I lost 90% of that in 2 months. And then I went back to work and started again with 3,000, lost most of it. Then I took a loan, started again with, I don't know, like 3,000, 4,000 or 5 or something, lost most of it. And then I took another loan. And then, well, thankfully this time I didn't lose most of it. So, but when I started swing trading, mostly swing trading, I think I had a few 100,000 or like 100,000 or something like that. But the first 3 or 4 years, I almost exclusively day traded. If that answers your question, David. Oh, Mercado Libre, looking good, but I'm not gonna buy anything else here. I don't think so. I'm just so afraid that everything is gonna reverse higher. Or lower, sorry, lower. But I don't know. Look at the Spice and Russell. It's just running up into resistance, so you can't buy anything with conviction here at all. Just putting some stocks into my tracking watch list here. Okay, now we have alerts coming in. Again, and old alert. Let's see here. Wow, this RNG is really strong. Look at the volume. Yeah, if this was earnings, I would be all over it. If this was gapping up on like really good earnings, but I didn't even see this thing. I was a little bit late again because I'm not really used to the streaming thing yet, so it always takes a little bit more time than I anticipate to get everything going. So I didn't have time to look at the gappers. But that's fine, the market is really bad anyway, so I don't think this RNG is gonna have much follow through. Do you swing trading? Well, day trading is better if you. I think day trading is better for most in the beginning because you get a lot of trade. If you have if you do things right, like if you follow the rules, if you have a good setup, etc., etc., day trading is better for most, I think, to build an account because you learn faster. You do the things. You make a lot more mistakes and you just get more trades under your belt faster than in swing trading. But most people don't have a solid trading process, so day trading is also, you lose your money quicker if you don't have a solid process and a solid setup which you trade. So it's a double-edged sword, and most people do lose money trading. That's just a fact. But if you have a solid method, yeah, day trading is better if you have, let's say, less than $500,000. But after that, definitely after 300,000 to 500,000, that's when swing trading becomes more of a viable method. ENDP is reversing of this declining 100-day moving average. Which means my Mallinckrodt is reversing too. Yep, it is. All right. Yep. So I'll set two stops. One at 251 where I sell 45,000 shares, and the other at 246 where I sell the last. Things just don't have a lot of juice right now. And that's also another thing that's different from day trading. Like if you day trade, if you're a long short trader, you will find trades pretty much every day. Like there is no bad or there is no good or bad market in that way. Like you can pretty much trade almost every day as long as you get setups. But swing trading is different because swing trading just doesn't work, at least on the long side. And swing trading on the short side is very, very hard in my opinion, and also very dangerous unless you trade like ETFs, liquid ETFs, and like large cap names. But there's just, you have to like be inactive for long periods of time, sometimes for months. While if you're a day trader, you can be more active. Like there is not necessarily periods where you have to be more inactive. to the same extent as in swing and position trading. So you gotta have a lot of patience. That's also why it's better to have a larger account if you start swing trading, because you don't have to worry about the money as much. Like, oh, I have bills to pay, I need to trade, I need to make money. So it's better to have a larger account because you don't give a shit. Like, so what if I don't make money this month? It doesn't matter, because maybe next month I'll make $1 million, right? So it doesn't really matter if I don't make money this month. So it's very psychological too. Very, very psychological, this game. Yep, Roku is reversing. You know what? I'll tighten up my stop. Right now I'm break even on it. I should probably tighten up my stop even more. We'll see where this thing, where it closes. IPHI is reversing. Yeah. This is exactly what I was afraid was going to happen. Very, very choppy environment. Ultra choppy. Have to be patient. Let's see here. Yeah, Dave, yes, exactly. I mean, you can't, let's say, if you have, say, a $5 million account, you can't day trade it. There's no way. But you can swing trade it. Like, there's no, I mean, I don't think you can double your money in a year if you have a $5 million account, but you could easily double it, especially in a good market if you're swing trading. No problem. So yeah, I mean, there is much more money in swing and position trading, absolutely. What is your... you mostly buy strong large cap? I trade every cap, pair trades. But mostly I swing trade like mid and large caps on the long side. And I do also short like micro and small caps that go up insane amounts in a few days or a few weeks. How important is it to you to look at the fundamentals of your stocks? Is it part of your process? As I can see, you're making it for years now, but are you convinced has a really big idea? Fundamentals. Well, it helps me. It helps with the conviction. Like, if I know a company is a leader in its field and is taking market share, or has created its own niche and has big earnings and revenue growth, that gives me a conviction together with a strong chart, definitely. Instead of like trading stuff like Mallinckrodt, which is, you know, it's probably gonna go bankrupt. So I'm pretty much betting on a just dead cat bounce. That's what I'm doing. So I don't have a lot of conviction in it, fundamentally. But yeah, if I had to choose something, I would just trade off like strong charts, no matter what. But I do feel like it having a little bit of knowledge about the fundamentals gives me an edge. That's why I tracked earnings and stuff like that, like earnings leaders, growth leaders, etc. Let's see. I think the problem with day trading is most will scalp for 50 cents, 20 cents, small amount, and miss the big dollar moves. I feel over time it builds about, yeah, exactly. That's a problem. It's very easy to get trapped in that scalping mentality. You know, I see people who I looked up to when I started trading like 7-8 years ago, and they're still doing the same, like scalping. They're still stuck in that. Like they're trying to make a few hundred per day or maybe $1,000 per day, I mean, they could just scale up their trading, like scale up the size, scale up the time frames, and they could make much more money with less effort. So I realized that early, that there is much more money in swing trading, and I think it's also easier if you wait for the right market conditions. Now, I'm a chronic overtrader, I can't wait. So especially now that I started streaming, it feels like I have to trade just to show I'm a trader, right? Because I can't stream here. I can't stream and sit here and do nothing. It's kind of weird. I probably shouldn't do anything. I'm just testing the waters. Taking a lot of small losses. And I really haven't, the past few weeks, I really haven't caught any big winners. The biggest winner I caught the past month or two was this Mallinckrodt, when I bought it on the day it kind of announced some bad news, hiring restructuring firm. I had a really tight intraday setup. I think I risked like 5 cents on this thing, and it ran up like at $2.50 in a few days. That was a few $100,000 win. But since then I've been pretty much taking like small losses almost daily. Haven't really had any big winners. But that's how it is being a swing position trader. That's I've been doing this for many years now, and it works for me. It's not for anyone. Like if you would look at my trading journal right now, it's mostly a sea of red, and then there's a big winners here and there, but it's mostly like small losing trades. Like my win rate is maybe, I don't know, 30% or so. But it's fine, because the winners I have, they're like 10, 20, sometimes 50 times my initial risk. Let's see here. Did you catch Overstock short? Yes, I caught it. I caught it short. I actually tweeted it even. I tweeted about it. I shorted it on this day here when it topped, because it was up. This is one of my favorite trading methods. It was up like what, 6-7 days in a row, a big move. It doubled like 6-7 days, and then on this day here I was watching it for weakness. I can't look. I don't think I can see it that far back. Oh, I can, yeah. So this is the day, right? Yeah, I shorted it. I think I shorted it somewhere here when it first tanked, then rallied. It failed this rally. Here I shorted it and I had a tight stop, and then it just tanked, bounced a little bit. I missed the second entry, unfortunately, and then it's been cut in half. It's been down it's down 67% since. Unfortunately, I covered it all the next day. I mean, if you get a move that's like 20-30% to the downside in like 2 days, that you have to cover. There's no way no one knew this would go down another 60% in a couple of weeks. But yeah, I mean, after that I haven't touched it. Since you mentioned World of Warcraft, I had to remember to push the space button or something so I don't get logged out, because there's a lot of queues on my server and I don't want to sit in a queue for a couple of hours. So thank you, Poho, for mentioning World of Warcraft. Yeah, I could stream myself playing World of Warcraft. Let's see. I had 27.55 short and I day traded. Oh, that sucks. Yeah. 27.55. Yeah, it only went down 60% or 70% from there. Yeah, but it's important to follow your method and adhere to your time frames. If you're a day trader, you gotta day trade. If you're a swing trader, you gotta. I mean, it's okay. I mean, in hindsight, it's always easy to be smart in hindsight. But you know, there's no way to know that it was gonna go down that much. Yeah. Lark Carl, 72. Yeah, pattern database. Yeah, I'm gonna show it to you guys someday. Not today. I just don't have the time or energy for it. It's huge. I could maybe do like a weekend thingy for a couple of hours, but it's gonna be in the future. There's so many charts. There's thousands. PDD strong short flag. Yeah, it is absolutely. Had a great earnings gap up. I didn't buy it because it was up for a month straight into this earnings, but yeah, it had great follow through after the earnings day. Big earnings. A China name. Growing really fast. They're blitz scaling this thing. I don't really know what they are. It's like a web store or something. But they're blitz scaling this thing. Huge losses, but extreme revenue growth. And the analysts see some profits in next year. So that's why it's so strong. Any good Pierre, you can go to my YouTube and look at my videos. There's that's everything is there. My whole method. I mean, I've gone through my whole method many times. So if you have the time, just go through my YouTube videos. It's pretty much I'm doing the same thing over and over again. Did I get stopped out of the rest? No, I still have half. I was like a penny from getting stopped out of the second half. Still have 9,000 shares on this yin. And I got stopped out of half Mankind. Not Mankind, Malincrot. By the way, Mankind it's... Oh, it's not bankrupt yet. Wow. Roku. Okay, Roku is now bouncing back higher. Very difficult market to trade on a swing trade basis. So choppy, just ultra choppy, man. Very exhausting. So it helps to have a big account, so you don't have to worry about making money every month or even every quarter. You know, sometimes I go for 3 to 5 months without making any money. In 2015, I went sideways for 9 months, and I still more than doubled my account that year. But that was a really tough year. I was so out of tune with the market that year. And this year, now I've been going sideways for, I think since pretty much mid-July or something, I've been going sideways, or early July or something like that. I haven't made any money. I may be down a little bit, maybe 5 to 10% or so, because it's been very choppy, and I haven't caught any big winners. So just taking a lot of small losers and an occasional big winner, but I'm still in a little bit of a drawdown. But that's fine. I'm used to it. That happens every year, and mostly even several times per year. So you just have to recognize what it is and just wait for better market conditions. Now, for example, like the first and second quarter of this year, they were insane. I doubled my accounts in like 3-4 months. Just crazy. And the biggest rallies, they always happen after a drawdown, after market has gone down for several weeks or several months. That's when the big rallies happen. So that's why I'm actually looking for the market to tank a little bit. Or actually not a little bit, I want a big fade, and I want it to happen fast. This kind of shop, that's the worst kind of market environment, because you get these good setups and then they get slammed down again, they fail. But in a market like this, there are no good setups. Like everything is going down every single day. There are no good setups for me. I just sit and wait. It's the easiest market ever. You don't have to do anything. Let's see here. How much money Do you manage it? Well, let's say it's in the low mid single digits, millions. I can show you the Excel document. I showed it a couple of days ago, but I can show it again, my equity curve. So this is, like, I haven't updated it this year. Last time updated was late December last year. So, and I started to track my trading performance in early 2014. So this is my equity chart. So, well, now I'm well over 5-6 million that I pulled out of the markets during my trading career. But a lot of that has gone to taxes and expenses, so I don't. It's not like I'm sitting on a $5-6 million account. That I'm not. And as you can see, you know, let's look at the logarithmic chart. As you can see, this in 2015, I went sideways for 9 months. Very tough period. Last year, I went sideways for most of the year, as you can see here. I went sideways from like March to December, and in late December, that's when I got into the market again, and everything went straight up for like 4 or 5 months. So yeah, when I update this, the first 4 or 5 months of this year, it's gonna look like this. The chart is gonna look like this, and the rest of the year is gonna look like this. The rest of the year too, from like say like May or June to today, will look like this. It's gonna be going sideways. I watched all your YouTube videos, and when forming flag pattern, you often mention that you wait for moving averages catch with it. Can you go? Okay, yeah, sure. So let's look at some of the, well, I mean, okay, so I don't know, like let's look at high tide flags. You kind of want them to, if you have a high tide flag, let's look at Overstock. You kind of usually you want it to rest on a few moving averages. Usually it's a 10 and a 20, the purple and the yellow line. Like you get high tide flag, like Overstock a couple of years ago, you got multiple high tide flags. So you want the moving average to kind of catch up. It doesn't need to touch the price, but it needs to kind of catch up. Like here, it even undercut the moving average. And here it bounced right off the moving average. And this year we have USLV, which I traded. It kind of starts riding when the price starts riding the moving average. It doesn't have to. It's usually the 20-day. Those are the best ones, or these are the most common ones. It kind of starts riding. You can kind of see that it performs a series of higher lows. Same thing with the rates this year. Now these are a bit slower moving, so they're not as explosive and fast, but you kind of can see it here. It's surfing the moving average. You see how perfect this is, like a series of higher lows. It's just surfing. It's like it was surfing a wave, if that explains it. And you kind of want to see the higher low action, like all around the bottom. It doesn't have to be perfect. You get these undercuts, but as long as these undercuts get bought up really fast, like it's a one-day thing or something like that, those are completely fine. You want to see that. You want to see the shakeouts. Can you go over the other tabs in that sheet as a template for us, maybe? I could do that some other day, but not today. What was your big loss slump in 2018 from that Excel? Yeah, that was Tilray. Oh yeah, that was definitely Tilray. I'm gonna show you. Yeah, so I lost 700,000 trying to short Tilray. I got in a really bad place mentally, I don't know why I did it. It's just so stupid, very avoidable. I just tried to short it every day. And it was just stupid, just so stupid. I could have just, you know, not traded. There were so many other trades during that time frame. And I just focused on this Tilray every single day. I missed so many opportunities. So, I mean, I could easily, instead of losing that 700k over from this mid-August to mid-September, I could have made another like 500,000 or 700k on something else. So that was probably my biggest trading mistake in my trading career. It cost me easily over 1 million or 1.5 million. Not only that I lost the money, but I missed so many other opportunities. And then I made back the 700k in about a month. But that was, yeah, 2 lost months last year when there was huge opportunities. So yeah, this is like mid-August to mid-September. I'm gonna show you. Yeah, this is Tilray. This is Tilray. Yep. I lost about 700k. And then I made it back really, really fast. There's so much opportunity during that 2-month period with the Mariana stocks. And then I kind of had a pull, that drawdown again, and then late December I made a killing. At least you did. No, I didn't blow up. It was a decent drawdown. It was well, back then I had a smaller account. It was probably a 20% drawdown, but I've had worse. Like I've had 50% drawdowns. Gonna show you my drawdown. So the Tilray trade, yeah, here it is. 30%. Was it 30? I don't think it was 30. I think this includes some other trades. But yeah, I've had worse drawdowns than. Oh no, sorry, here it is. Yeah, it was just shy of 20%. I was looking at the wrong graph. This is, yeah, I lost 19% of my account shorting that Tilray. But I've had worse. I've had, you know, 25, 52% drawdown, 35% drawdown. And in 2015, when I went sideways for 9 months, look at how many 10, 15, 20% drawdowns I had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like half of the 10% drawdowns I've had since 2014 were during 2015. Was extremely volatile. You can see it on the chart here, the logarithmic chart, you know, just went sideways. I had some big drawdowns, some big rallies, drawdown rally, sideways. Just the whole year of 2015, very, very exhausting. And that's the part many traders can't handle. People just go mad. It's too hard. But you have to stay calm. You have to keep believing in yourself, in your method, and in the markets. That's the hardest part. Making money is the easy part. Anyone can make money in the right market environment, but most of the time it's just staying patient. And it's even worse if you're in a drawdown and the market sucks and you take these small losses like all the time. It's very frustrating. Very hard to sit here, you know, from, you know, pretty much 7-8 hours per day. That's why I play World of Warcraft. I just actually started playing it. I haven't played video games in like, I don't know, 9 years. But it kind of helps with the boredom. It really helps. And I have a lot of friends playing too, so it just helps me to keep me from over trading. Oh, by the way, I have to click the. Just 1 sec, I'll go into the inn so I get some rested bonus. Okay, sorry for this. I had to move my character so I don't get logged out. Let's see. HOV is HOV. I've seen this one. Yep, yeah, it looks good, very strong. The only problem is, the only problem with this one, it's so thin. I can't trade it. I personally can't trade this thing. It's just ultra liquid. It only trades like 2 million worth of stock per day or something like that. So that it's only about 10% of what I look for. So it's extremely liquid. It's a micro cap stock, 100 million. There are some other builder stocks, residential construction stocks. This is another Toll. This is a big one. No, not Toll. Okay, this is a mid cap one. There's a large cap one. What's the name? Oh, Lennar, right? Yeah, this is a large cap one. Almost 19 billion market cap. This is a liquid one. So, but yeah, home builders have been strong lately. Lennar has been strong. Toll has been decent, I guess. This BCH has been strong. HOV. So let's say in a few weeks they may be setting up and flagging. Like right now, there's no setup. I would probably trade this Lennar because it's the most liquid one. But yeah, HOV, if you have a smaller account and can trade these things, there's no setup here right now. I don't think so, but yeah, this could definitely be something. I've even drawn a trend line break here on the 60-minute chart, as you can see. But yeah, there's no volume for me. MTH, yeah, Meritage, yeah. This is a bit more liquid. This is mid cap. Absolutely, these things look great, really. Let's see. In your equity curve in 2014, you have a very nice. Yep. Oh yeah. Well, I was shorting a lot, and I was trading a lot of like volatility related stuff. Yeah, exactly. I'm never gonna have returns like that again. Yeah, in 2014 I made my accounts were a 10 bagger in less than a year. That was insane. I made like 1,000% in less than a year. It's just insane. I'm never gonna have returns like that again. I was day trading, and there was a lot of like volatility, like these explosive small caps that had a lot of volume, a lot of range. Like Plug is one. Oh, can't see. I'll move this one. Like you could short this thing, you would buy this thing. Like there was a lot of range, like this liquid. I just bought the intraday flags. I shorted the intraday bear flags. I shorted the intraday on the opening range lows. I bought the intraday breakouts, opening range highs. There was a lot of speculative money in the small cap space that year. So that's what I traded. This year has been completely different. This year has been a large cap rally. Like if you look at the Russell has been going sideways for I don't know 2 years. Hasn't been a lot of speculative money in the small caps. While look at Nasdaq, the QQQs, look at how much they are up the past 2 years. These larger cap, mid and large cap Nasdaq stocks and SPYs too. Look at how much they're up. Small caps, they're been going sideways. So there hasn't been as much opportunity in the small cap space. But yeah, in 2014 there was a lot of opportunity in the small cap space. You can't actually see it in the Russell because I don't know why, but there under the hood there was some insane speculative money. A lot of big runners. And I traded those on the long and short side. That's how I made 900% in less than a year. What are all those notes on the charts? Did you enter those? I don't know what you mean. Like all those notes? Yeah, I keep track of news and earnings. That's I get a story for the stock. Like I know if I type in a random ticker, I can just update myself really quickly what the stock is all about. Like what sector it is, what the earnings are, what the news are. I get a feel for it. Like what's going on, like what the potential drivers may be in the stock. I'm getting there. Could you talk a little bit about your early days on the trading arena? Age, other profession, starting cash and account blow-ups, mentors, family stress. Whoa. I've actually covered a lot of that in the past few sessions. I don't think some of the things I've already covered today, like the starting cash and stuff like that. Blow-ups, mentors, yeah, blow-ups. I had like 2-3 of them the first year or the first 2 years, and then I was about to blow up a couple of other times. But that's what happens if you don't have a profitable trading process, a method you trade, like something you do daily, where you have an edge. Family stress, yeah. Well, trading, I've been like slightly depressed most of my trading career, because everything feels so dark when the trading is not well. Like even in my real life, so trading is not a great profession for mental health. I don't think it is. You really have to be special to make it in trading, to be honest. I think that's why most people don't make it. They just can't handle feeling like shit all the time. Because it does, if you're in a bad period in trading, you're losing real money. That kind of, it's not like a real job. You make, you can hate your job, but you're gonna still get the paycheck at the end of the month, right? You don't have to worry about the money. But in trading, it's different. Yeah, no, you're not alone. We are all in the same boat. We can all be miserable in the same boat. Yeah, so mentors. Yeah, that's a good question. Mentors, I've had many, like Cameron Foos, Kunal Desai on the Bulls on Wall Street, Investors Live, if you know that guy, Investors Underground, they have a big chat room and stuff. Dan Shapiro, Dan Shep55 on Twitter. He has an accessatrader.com community, that's a great one. And StockBee is a great one for swing trading. StockBee.biz. And then his free blog. You know what? I can put them, like my mentors, like sites I've been members of. I've been paying member of all of these sites through my trading career. Now I just subscribe to StockBee because the others are more day trading. Investorsunderground.com, accessatrader.com, Nate, let's see here, Nate, Dan Shapiro, Bulls on Wall Street, Kunal, so these are my main like 4 trading mentors. That I've had during the people I've learned a lot from over the years, and I've been a paying member of all of these sites, and I still am on StockBee. So my portfolio is not looking that great right now. Everything still reversing, I guess. Yeah. Very tough swing trading environment. Very, very tough. Let's look at some scans. So So nothing new on my scans. Like all of these that I flagged, they are the ones that gapped up. Nothing new since. Yeah, not much going on. Not much going on. This RNG, this huge gapper is reversing too from the highs, but it's still up 24%, so they're fine. Mercado Libre went red. Let's see here. What's the max percentage of your portfolio you are invested? Max percentage? Like right now I'm about, I don't know, less than 20% exposure, less than 20%. The biggest one is Roku. Roku is most of my exposure. The other ones like Malincrot and Yin and JCP, they're tiny positions. Oh, what's the max percentage of your portfolio you're invested in at times? Well, like early this year, I was constantly like 130% net long for a long time. So yeah, I have no problem being in on margin if I have good profit patterns. Like if I have a bunch of stocks that are up a lot and then I keep getting good setups, I have no problem getting in on some margin. Nothing crazy. It's not like I'm on 200% margin. No, never. But 120, 130% if I have good profit paddings. But right now it's less than 20%. So that tells you about how confident I feel about this market. Bouncing off a trend line supported rallying into resistance, not great time to be trading on the long side. How do you find scam plays like Overstock? What do you mean like scam plays? You mean like pump jobs? I mean, it's a real company. This is a real company. They have a real business. It's just they have some crypto assets that are very hyped. I don't know about the quality about those assets, but I don't think there's anything there. But it's a real company. But yeah, they had a very pumpish CEO who's now stepped down and sold all of his stake. But yeah, this thing has been pumped and hyped. Like 2017 had a huge move together with the other crypto assets. How do I find them? I find them in my momentum scans. That's how I find them. Like I scan for stocks that are up a lot on 5-day, a month, 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 1.5 years. Like these things always turn up in my scans. So it's very easy to find these things. When day trading, which time frames did you follow, and on smaller time frame do you have? I don't think I had that. Yeah, I had pretty much the same moving averages. Like you can use the same moving average like on any time frame. Like there's nothing magical about them. You can use like I'm using. Like on the 60-day chart, I'm using the 10, the 20, the exponential 10 and 20, and the exponential 65, because those are the ones that I found, like I've seen other people using them, and they kind of work really well. Like when stocks go on big runs or big declines, these things work really well. But you can use anything. You can use the 15 or 22 or 79 or whatever works. Like it's just a visual help. Because if there was no indicators, like no moving average, I would feel a little bit it feels a bit naked. Like I need to have something where my eyes can anchor. But it's because I've been using moving averages since I started trading. If you're a new trader, I don't think you really need them, but I'm too set in my ways to remove the moving averages. I find they work really well for me. So on an intraday time frame, you can use anything. Just look at what works. Just take a 10 period. Like if you look at the 5-minute charts, take a 5 period moving average and maybe a 20 period or 10 period, and just see how they work. There's nothing magic about them. Or MNK. Yeah, Mallinckrodt was definitely just short based. Overstock too, like I knew it was a pump chop. It was getting hyped into this, like they declared a dividend that was to be paid out in crypto, not in regular shares, but in crypto. I don't really know how they managed to do that. But yeah, September 23, so it got paid out, I guess. And that's why the pump job, they were hyping, oh, the shorts are stuck, they can't pay the dividend I don't even know what it was all about. But the short trade was all short based. It was up like 6-7 days in a row. It had doubled, and then on this 6th or 7th day, it just kept going up, and then it had a big down candle. Then it tried to bounce a little bit, and then when it started failing that bounce, that's when I got short with this recent high as my stop. So I just found a really tight setup, just purely short based. Are you in any chat room? No, I'm not in any chat room. The only trading community I'm in is at stockbeat.biz, and that's not a chat room per se. You can like post stuff, but it's not a chat room like here on Twitch. What's your process for tracking news? You know what? Wait, I'll just make a scan and then I'll answer that question. So I'm still in some half yin, half Mallinckrodt. Roku is starting to go lower again. Yeah, it's super choppy. So these apps, I've been in this thing for about 5-6 months now. I bought it on this earnings breakout here. Very tiny position. It's like a couple of percent of my account. But I'm trying to hold it like for a long time, in case it goes to 10 or something. I'm always trying to hold things for as long as I can to catch the big moves. But sometimes I overstay, like on Roku, I bought it initially here on this earnings breakout on huge volume. I added on this day, on this second earnings breakout, like huge earnings, huge analysts, like they beat analyst estimates by a wide margin. And then I kind of overstayed, like, it pulled back like 30%, and yeah, that's the hard part. But on the other hand, what if it had gone to 250? I don't know. But obviously I sold most into strength, so it's not like I held. So I held my full position. I overstayed on like a quarter or something like that. So it's not a big deal. Same thing with EMPH, which I got stopped out on this stream. This thing also, I kind of overstayed a little bit on a part of my shares. So it more than doubled. Actually went up like 180% from initial buy. And then I overstayed on the last quarter or something. But that's the thing, you never know when these things stop. So that's why I have these selling rules I went through a couple of days ago with the moving averages. When they close below a certain moving average, I scale out. What's your process for tracking news sources? Well, I look at the gappers. Like I primarily look at the stocks gapping up. I look at the news, and my main news sources are briefing.com. I pay for this, and also the fly on the wall. Like these are my main news sources, which I pay for. And I'm mostly interested in like earnings related stuff. Stocks gapping up on good earnings, like really good, like explosive earnings, big revenue growth, and big EPS growth, and you know they beat where they beat analyst estimates by wide margin. But I track all kinds of news, like things I see on Twitter, and I create a story for different for stocks. So if I like find the same stock, say 6 months or a year later, I can just quickly read what the stock is all about, and then I can get an idea what the drivers for this stock are, which helps me build confidence in a trade. So I don't like to trade, especially if you're day trading, it doesn't matter, but if you have longer time frames, you kind of need to have some kind of an idea what the stock is. So you're not holding something like I don't know, some kind of like no revenue biotech stock that could have some binary news any day. Like I'm gonna show you a crazy stock. What's the name of that stock? There's a biotech stock that has like a $7-8 billion valuation, and they have no revenues because it's all up on hype about some drugs in their pipeline, but they have no revenues. What's the stock? I don't remember the ticker right now. ALXN maybe? Maybe it's this one, ALXN. No, not this one. Anyways, but there's no way I could hold something like that long overnight. There's no way. I mean, one of their drugs fail, that thing is gonna be down 50% overnight. There's no way I would ever be confident holding something like that. I want stocks that have things going for them. How many days before you get sick of answering the same questions? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'll have to find something like a source to let's see. I'll see if I can get a web page for like a FAQ. AXSM may be what you... Oh, Stockby, Pradeep, welcome to my channel. AXSM, no, it's a small cap. This is a small cap. There's a large cap name, or there was a couple of years ago. It's probably, maybe it's gone down now because the biotech market is not as strong. But there was a stock a couple of years ago, at least, that had like a $7-8 billion valuation, and they had no revenues. Just crazy. Yeah, EXSM, yeah, this is a perfect example of a small cap stock that has no revenues. It's just trading on, future potential. Absolutely. Okay, Malincrot, I got stopped out of the second half also. Yeah, just no juice. Like yesterday, it looked like it was gonna break out of this little flag. Very explosive kind of a stock, but yeah, no follow through. So he got stopped out. Not a great start to my streaming thingy. Not a great start at all. So if you're here to see big profits, you're in the wrong place. You're in the wrong place. Yeah, the markets are reversing a bit now. The best thing that could happen into year end, or here, now in October, if you get a big flush and then get a year end rally. But again, I'm a chronic overtrader. I know I probably shouldn't buy stuff in this market, but I just can't help myself, and that's been this way for since I started, and that's fine. That's why I do smaller size, because I recognize it's stupid. Oh, Roku. Oh. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna raise my stop in more. Just, there's no way. There's no point in letting it go, stop me out for the full amount. Yeah, Tesla is reversing back lower. I'm gonna put a trend line alert here in because it's kind of a big bear flag kind of a thing. Let's just put a trend line alert here. So you can see it's been building lower highs for like 7-8 months now. Look at the weekly chart. I don't know. It could also be, you know, I don't know. I'll put an alert. We'll see what happens. If it triggers, I may reshort this thing because they missed their estimates again, and you know the economy, the global economy is slowing down, and the Tesla, they have a lot of debt. They're losing a lot of money. They already lost over $1 billion this year, and now with the slowdown and they're missing their estimates, you know, there's a 40 billion market cap, and they're not even nearly close selling as much as like General Motors or Fiat Chrysler that have similar market caps. Like these companies are selling 10 times more cars, 20 times more cars. I don't know. Tesla has a lot of Elon premium. And if that Elon premium starts unwinding, you know, things could get ugly. But I love electric cars, don't get me wrong. I want to buy an electric car. It's not like I hate electric cars, it's not that. I just think Tesla is right now not in a great spot. Yeah, very close getting stopped out of my... of a lot of things here. Do you still drive a BMW X5? Yes, I've been driving that car for 3 years now and I love it. I'm thinking about buying the new one. The M50D X5, I love it. Okay, now I got stopped out of my last yin. It looked like a bottom flag breakout yesterday. Like I've been kind of good at trading yin past 6 months or so. I got all of these swings higher, like this breakout here. But on all of these, I only sold like a third half into strength, and I got stopped out on the balance break even. I got this swing higher, and I thought this would be another swing higher, but nope, not this time. So I'm out of this one too. So now my pretty much this JC Penney probably going bankrupt. Looks like it from the chart anyways. Down from 14 or 12 just 2 years ago, 3 years ago, to below $1. Oh boy, this one is moving down fast now. Okay, I'm gonna set a hard stop. So I don't have to watch it. But again, I saw like mid-late day yesterday was a lot of these recent leaders that were rallying off rising support, so I just had to buy one of them. Like Okta, Ku. This Okta is holding up really well. Ku is holding up really well. What's Shopify doing? Shopify not as well. And this Roku, god damn it, I bought the one that's holding up the worst. Typical. Because if you remember from yesterday, I had like 4 or 5 of those in this watch list here. And yeah, I chose to buy Roku. And I will get stopped out any second now. Yeah, okay, so meat. Let's see what news there was yesterday. MEET. Okay, they pre-announced preliminary Q3 revenue 52 million, consensus 50, okay. Big volume on that piece of news. Let's look at MarketSmith, what it says here. So they're gonna report the same amount of revenue as they did last quarter or this recent quarter. So they're gonna report September quarter. So they're gonna report 52 million, and the last quarter, same quarter last year, they reported 46. So it's gonna be like, I don't know, less than 15% revenue growth. So that's not significant growth at all. So I don't think this is. There's nothing significant here. So what this means is they're gonna see next quarter revenue growth of 15%. So next time I pull this chart up, I can see it immediately. Okay, there's no growth here. And it's a small cap stock, so I don't. It's actually almost a micro cap stock. I don't trade these small things anymore. They're just too thin. Too thin. Did I get stopped out? Nope, I did not get stopped out yet. Out of this Roku. But JCPenney, my smallest position, this one is working. But there's no juice in this thing either. Just hanging in there. Wow, M&K, big reversal intraday. Lost yesterday's lows. Or almost. It's pretty much at yesterday's lows now. Damn, this chart is so beaten down. I have to look at the logarithmic chart to even see the chart. It's just so compressed. It's down. I mean, look at this thing. This thing was at $134 back in 2015, and now it's at $2. Just amazing. Just amazing. How to not run a business. Yeah, now the indices are really fading intraday. I really hope these things fail and we get that flush. Flush out below this 200-day. I'm not hoping for a bear market, but just a correction, so we can have another rally of the lows where I can make money. Well, there's not gonna happen. I don't think anything is gonna happen the rest of the day, which is also what I said yesterday. And then a lot of things happened after I cut the stream. I got stopped out of UVXY and Tesla, and then I got into a lot of other stuff. But I don't think that's gonna happen today because the market is in the middle of nowhere. Yesterday we had a reversal candle of some rising support, so that's why I bought in on the long side on some stuff, but because they just looked really good. But now we're in the middle of the range, and it's a very dangerous time right now on the long side. So I doubt. What's UVXY doing? Yeah, it's really weak. Again, this is programmed to go to 0, so have to be quick with it, and I wasn't quick enough. I wish I only locked in 1,000 shares here in the mid 31s. I should have bought or sold like 2,000-3,000 at least, but I got a little bit greedy. I was really hoping it was gonna go to like 35 or something, but nope, not this time. But yeah, I think I'll cut the stream now because things are getting really slow and there's no point for me to sit here and just... Oh yeah, it's Friday, I totally forgot. Yeah, have a great weekend, everyone. Yeah, I can answer that last question. One Nuba. Internet speed, I have 250. I have fiber connection, 250 up, 250 down. So it's a very fast connection. But it's not the speed that matters; it's the stability and the ping and the response times. So you can have like. You can be on a mobile setup like where you're using the 4G network, that works just fine. You don't need a lot of juice for trading. It needs to be stable. That's the most important thing. And you don't need a gaming a computer at all to trade. I think it's stupid, all these people buying these $2,000 trading computers. It's just so stupid. Like, what the fuck? I have like several laptops that are not powerful at all, and they work just fine. Like I run TC2000. Like actually, I'm actually streaming on a gaming computer right now because I do play games on it. But you don't need a gaming computer. You can just buy a normal computer. You don't need a lot of juice. Because these trading applications, they don't need a lot of power at all. I don't know, a lot of people on Twitter, they buy these trading computers and pay like $2,000-3,000 for them. It's just unnecessary, unless you are gonna play games, then it's a good idea, of course, but for trading, no. Minimum memory, I mean 16 gigabytes. I have 16 gigabytes is just fine. Like the latest i5 processor, if you're gonna buy a new one, like latest i5 processor, 16 gigs, some kind of a weaker dedicated graphics card, it's just fine, unless you're gonna do video editing and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly, Smiji. It's the latency. Yeah, that's what matters. And that you don't get disconnected, like the stability of the connection. Like you don't want to be disconnected ever. So you need a quality connection and with good latency times. The speeds don't matter. Like I have 250 up, 250 down, and it's overkill. Like it's just so much overkill. It's not even funny. But it's nice if the times I like stream like 4K movies or something like that. Yeah, exactly. 50 both ways. But it's so cheap nowadays. Like it costs like almost nothing. So it's 250 is not like that much more expensive than 50. So that's why I have it. Just then I know my girlfriend, she can stream 4K movies, and I can stream a 4K movie and my stuff, and I can play games, and it's not gonna get slow at all. Yeah, 1 gigabit per second, that's overkill. But I'm gonna cut it now. Thanks for joining. Have a great weekend, everyone. It was a pleasure. Just too bad the market sucks. It's never fun to lose money. Okay, I'm gonna cut it now. Thanks all.